schedule stream. Woo, woo, go live. Schedule stream. Review settings now, bitch. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh shit. Yeah. Next. Yeah, now. Done.
Okay, we're live.
We are live?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we were live. Guys, I am so sorry. What had happened was, when Chad came in, he couldn't see Clippy. And we can't have a stream without Clippy. Right? So, I had to remember how to do not StreamYards. What are we using?
OBS.
And I hadn't even set up OBS on this computer yet. So, dudes, for you, I somehow got my adult brain with all 11 concussions in order and got this done. So, you're welcome. And now we can. Hi, everybody, and Clippy, and welcome, Captain Chad. Like, how do you like to be addressed, sir?
That's fine. Either way, it doesn't bother me. You can call me Chad, Captain Chad. I have about everybody seems to kind of use different name for me, so it's perfectly fine. Either one.
Okay, well, as we've gotten to know each other in a crisis, so let's just get into it. Everybody probably knows why he's here. You have a fight coming up with Jose Maria Castro?
Yep.
Yeah, that's his name. We don't call him by his chosen name here. We don't show him that respect. He deserves none. So, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, let's find out more about you. Like, most of the people, and I know a few people that are first responders, and most of them either have a lot of family who are either firefighters or cops, or they just always wanted to be one. Like, which do you fall into either of those categories?
It's funny because I mean, when I was really little,
Mm.
I guess as a small child, I did have an interest in one day I'll be a police officer. But to be honest, I never really envisioned being in law enforcement as I got older, my teenage years. I didn't really have any interest in it at all. It was never something that I was working to be or anything. As far as family goes, my sister's ex-husband, he was actually state trooper in the state of West Virginia. As I was growing up, she's older than me, so, and it was kind of an influence. But overall, I just kind of fell into the job. I'm a huge supporter, and I absolutely love our freedoms and liberties. I'm a huge
Mm-hmm.
constitutionalist.
Here,
So
here.
because of that, I guess I found my way into being, I hate to say, a police officer because of that, but I guess that was kind of at least a little bit of motivation to actually take an
Great
oath to the
motivator.
Constitution.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So, and that's kind of how I stumbled into it with interest that way.
So you mentioned a sister. Do you have a lot of brothers and sisters, or only child?
I have
Not only child, obviously.
I have one of each.
Oh,
I have one of
neat.
each.
Are you the middle? Are you the Jan, the Marsha, or the Cindy?
I'm the baby.
Oh, you're the Cindy. Aw.
Yep, that's me.
Clippy, which are you?
I am the youngest as well.
Oh, see, I'm an only child, so I don't know how it is. Um. Okay, so like growing up, would you say like you were good in school? Like, tell us about the young Captain Chad.
Oh wow. Okay. I Man, I would love to be able to tell you how wonderful I was in school. I wish I could. I wish I could actually
Uh
have that
oh.
story.
Uh oh.
I would love to be able to say, "Oh, you have no idea. I was an academic genius." But the reality was, I hated school. I hated it.
Uh
Like I grew up, and it was like, to me, it was so inconvenient. I was never a morning person, and I'm still
oh.
not.
Mm-hmm.
and it was like getting up this early sucks, But I mean, I was always, I guess, a well-behaved child. I mean, it was never that problem, but I just didn't like the idea of getting up and being made to be somewhere. I guess that was my problem growing up.
Right.
Uh,
Same way.
yeah, I think that was just kind of, I don't know, and I think that was kind of maybe I hate to say a phase that I was in because I remember as I got in high school, it kind of changed. It's more of a social environment by that
Mm-hmm.
point.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of one of those things that I remember in grade school. I was just absolutely devastated by the idea. How dare they ask me to get up and be here this early?
Yeah. I was the same way. Like they had to literally drag me into my new school. Like the principal had me on one arm, and my mom had the other, and I was screaming and crying. But
Yeah, been there.
so like as you went to high school, you said it became more social. Like, were you the popular kid? Are you shy, retiring? Like, did you play sports?
I was I was that kid that I'm never. I hate to say I was never antisocial. I was always kind of just in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get along with everybody, so I was never the clicky type person. And I boxed a little bit through my younger years up through high school, and I'm a musician. I play guitar,
Wow.
and I was in a rock band through a lot in high school. So and we were, the high school that I went to was actually a pretty large high school. We had like 2,600 students, something like that.
Oh wow.
Um, and it was, I mean, I hate to say like what was popular and what wasn't, but I mean, I guess I was well known at least. I mean, uh,
You could
I don't
say
know
it.
that
You
it
were
was.
popular. It's okay.
I mean, I was never like the super jock or anything. I mean, I never played football in high school. But I was, like I said, I boxed, so it was kind of one of those things that kind of brought a little bit of attention, and then of course the musician type thing and playing, because I was like 16 years old playing clubs,
Oh
so
wow, you were really a musician. Like you really got into it.
oh yeah, yeah, we actually, and I mean at one time we were actually offered a record label deal when I was right out of high
Get
school.
out.
Yeah, but it was with an independent label, so it was basically one of those things where they wanted us to record, and we did record.
Mm-hmm.
We went and kind of recorded a little demo type thing, and that was back in the day when you had to go to the studio. I mean, nowadays you can do this stuff on your phone, but
Yeah,
back then
right.
that wasn't an option. You had to go to a full-fledged recording studio, so on.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
we
remember.
actually were offered to sign with a label that they wanted to send us to Europe, um,
Mm.
and I had a brand new baby at the time, and I was just a kid myself, but I had my son at the time, and he was very, very, very young. Like, I mean, less than a year old.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, I can't leave my home, and and I married his mother, and which that we actually divorced later, and
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
remarried. But
Oh.
but nevertheless, at the time, I'm thinking I can't leave. Like, and this is not like everybody like has this like I guess vision of, oh well, if you sign with the record label you're going to be making money. No, no, I mean, like, we were probably going to be making like 30 grand a year
Yeah.
at that point, because they were basically sinking us and saying, if you go out and you do well, you can come back and we'll promote you in the States, but we got to try you in Europe first because Europeans are trendsetters. So if you do well in Europe, we'll bring you back to the States, but if
Right.
you do, we're going to kick you to the curb. So
I've actually heard
uh,
that story before because a few of my friends tried the same thing.
yeah, so I declined, and I just kind of went on, and then that's kind of how I stumbled into law enforcement. Because I was thinking I want a job that I can, like, kind of, I guess, challenge myself with it. Somewhat physical, somewhat mental. There's a level of pride, self,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, motivate, to do well at. So, and I kind of fell into law enforcement at that point and took an interest in it, and went to the academy and kept on progressing.
Wow. Do you miss music or do you still do it?
I play at the house a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
occasionally I'll play at our church, but I don't. I don't consistently play. I mean, I kind of find myself getting lazy. You know, I've got my wife gets onto me because I have so many guitars,
Oh
and like
wow.
I have them hanging on the walls and stuff in the house, and she's like, "That's all you need is another guitar." So it's like she said, "We need to go spend another $1,000 on a wall ornament you'll never play."
Right.
Like, would you consider now that you have your own YouTube channel ever doing some music there?
You know, maybe I don't know. I Man, you know what's funny is like I don't even really consider me having a YouTube channel. Like I guess that really hasn't kind of hit me like because, you know, when I started the Leaducator thing, I'm actually a firearm instructor, as obviously the name probably kind of implies.
Okay, I was
Um,
gonna ask about that. Yeah.
yeah, I teach defensive pistol, defensive carbine, and defensive shotgun, defensive tactics, self defense tactics, several different things I teach for different civilian schools around the area,
Okay.
and uh, and I started that kind of like because people were. I always found that, you know, people were asking, you know, well, what kind of gun should I get if I'm going to get one for self defense? So I
Mhm.
kind of started that channel just for that, and I just never did really take. I didn't have interest in it. It wasn't really a top priority of mine. And the only reason that I even started posting videos was because after Chili decides that, you know, he's going to come to Ironton and act
Ugh,
ridiculous, in my opinion.
act a fool.
I was
Yeah.
like, I was the only way that I really knew to get word out to him because I knew that if I got on there and make a video and kind of talk a little smack, it's going to somehow come back to him, and it did, and that's what happened.
Ah. So, how many, Cliff? Can you see how many subs Delete Laws has?
Sure.
I think the last time I checked, it was in the 40,000 range.
We gotta
Yeah, I
get you
think it's
over him. We gotta get you above him.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
to give you an idea, I've got 400. So,
Well,
41.7.
guys, the link to his channel's in the description. Don't just sub, and don't just sub with all your stock accounts. Share it, put it out everywhere you can, and just push it. We got
I greatly
Schrodinger at
appreciate.
138,000. We can get him there.
I'll tell you this was where my motivation comes from that channel, and I'll tell you why. I'm 43 years old,
Hmm.
um, and I'm way past my prime to be doing anything like a cage fight. But after the year that I had last year, I had a lot of health problems. I actually had COVID that nearly took my life. Um,
Wow.
I had prior to that, I was always a big power lifter, lifting weights, you know, strength, silly, stupid stuff, to be honest. But
Yeah, you
and
look
I
kind of
actually,
like you're in shape. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, well, I destroyed my right arm, and I had to have reconstructive surgery on my tendons and my tricep on my right arm,
Oh
which
my
put me out of the
God.
gym. And I almost become depressed. Like it felt like I lost my best friend because that gym was always my outlet.
Hmm.
And then I gained a lot of bad weight. I gained 50 pounds of pure fat bad weight in 2021.
Really?
Yeah, and because of that, I honestly have to give props to Chili because he pissed me off so much that he motivated me to get back to what I am, what I'm comfortable at. And when I started training and I started running, you know, when I very first started, my lungs were, oh my gosh, because COVID was so rough on me. And I thought to myself, I'm going to document these with video, just kind of like a little quick synopsis of what I'm going to do or what I just done or whatever. And I found that as I posted them on YouTube and I started getting, you know, somewhat of a little bit of a following of people actually commenting and you know making gesture, it motivated me and it holds me accountable, um, because I feel like now people are waiting to see what's next, and those days where you don't feel like going, you know, because I can tell you, especially at my age, there's a lot of times I don't feel like going and getting punched in the face at the gym, but because I know I'm being held accountable, people are waiting, expecting me, and I'm a huge to say that I'm obsessed with honesty is an understatement. I cannot stand to think that I've told something that's not true. Like, I don't know what that is in me, but I hate it.
Right. No, I get
So,
it.
and I've got to the point where I can't stand somebody to lie to me, and I can't stand the thoughts of lying to someone, or even if it's unintentionally, just not
Hmm.
following through on my word.
Right.
So by getting my followers, yes, YouTube's kind of become fun for me, but that's never been a primary focus of mine. But the followers help me stay
Focused.
positive and motivated,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and
get
that's
what you're
kind of what
saying because, like, I don't like letting my people down either. You know.
exactly.
Yeah. I totally get that. So, you said you had some boxing background.
Yeah, I grew up where I grew up. It was funny because I grew up in a country setting, and we were close to Huntington, West Virginia, but we were still kind of in the sticks, so to speak. So, and there's actually a boxing gym that one of my friends, when we were growing up together, his dad actually had his own boxing gym, and it was right up the road here. It was literally within walking distance. So as a kid, when everybody else was learning to throw baseball or play t-ball, I was learning to throw right hand.
Oh wow.
Um, and I actually, we had pictures, and I'm sure they're been gone for years, but I remember having a picture of me in kindergarten. I was like 5 or 6 years old, with boxing gloves hitting a heavy bag. And that's just what we done. I mean, it just kind of like that was the thing that we fell back on. We would be bored at night as teenagers, and we would get in the ring and just box and beat each other up. So, and then after I got out of the police academy, I actually kind of fell into some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and was exposed to that, and that become a huge passion for me. I love the art. I
Wow.
love I love the idea of it. I love the effectiveness of it, and because of that, I've kind of become more of a grappler than I am a boxer. But I do have respect for both of them, and I'm not great at either one of them, but I can hold my own.
Let me ask you a question. Because I've heard other YouTuber police officers like Donut and Angry Cops say they would love to see more officers taking things like jujitsu and learning how to
Absolutely,
grapple.
absolutely.
Like,
I
do you
I
agree?
I, I can't stress it enough. I'm constantly on my subordinates. Like my sergeant on down, the guys on my shift, and I'm going. You know, if we were to go out and I were to say, we're going to give you a grading scale
Hmm.
of how you perform in a fight and how you perform with your firearm, and I would ask them, what do you think you are? Are you A, B, C, D, or F? What would you say? And most of them are like, oh, I'm a C to a D. Okay, okay. Well, let me ask you this: if I were to tell you you're going to go have surgery from a doctor and he got a D,
Ooh.
how would you feel about that? And they're like,
Ooh.
Yeah.
and I said, well, here's what I'm telling you. This is potentially your life, not a mess up at work and having to redo a report. This could potentially take your life if you can't defend yourself with a firearm and or open hand. What do you think's going to happen? Or what are you going to do? Call the police?
Yeah.
Hello, and it's
Yeah.
like, and it's kind of a wake up call for me. And I push them all the time, like, get in the gym, get in the gym. If you don't like jujitsu, okay, don't train jujitsu, but find something, keep yourself active, make yourself stronger, make your body more, at least, I hate to say tougher, but at least adapted more, to the struggle.
Hmm.
Because I have found that in law enforcement in general, a lot of cops get in there, they get lazy, they kind of get stagnant, and they don't put a whole lot of effort into their physical fitness, or they don't put a whole lot of effort into their self defense. And I think that's just crazy.
Like, from what I've seen through Donut and Angry Cops saying that they wouldn't have to worry about going hands on as much, or they'd be able to at least, um, I don't know, deal with the situation better, and they wouldn't have to worry about the less lethal not being there, I guess.
I can tell you this: when I started training, and I mean my boxing was always well enough. I mean I knew that generally speaking, if I was to get into a fist fight, God forbid, and I'm duking it out with somebody, I'm probably going to be okay with the average guy. Like, I'm probably going to come out the upper hand.
Yeah.
But when I was introduced to jiu-jitsu and I realized that how much control that it gives you, and it's funny that we're talking about this. I actually read a meme earlier on Facebook or something that said there was and he was a practitioner, I'm guessing of judo. I mean, it looked like he was in black and white, and it was, and I think he was a judoka, and his quote was something along these lines: "I'm not teaching you how to fight. I'm teaching you how to control aggression."
Ooh.
And that really made a lot of sense to me, because that means in more than one way.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you become confident with yourself, when you know I'm okay, I don't have to escalate. I don't get that nervous, snap reaction at stuff. I'm more relaxed. I can relax in chaos. I can listen to somebody screaming and shouting and act silly and know if this dude acts stupid, he's probably going to end up really sorry and looking really dumb. But I can relax and know I don't have to do that. And secondly, the other side of that control and aggression is physically controlling your opponent's aggression. You can pin somebody down in such a way with jiu-jitsu, because it's all about position, that you can control somebody and not even hurt them. You
Right.
just, it's all about putting yourself in the right position, and you become, a very, very, I hate to say an aggravating opponent, but you kind of do. I mean, it's frustrating. You got this guy that's like, how is he holding me down? So, and it
Neat.
definitely changes your approach, I think.
Yeah, too bad. Like, it'd be great if everybody could get, that extra training.
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think every police officer should.
Cool. Yeah. So, speaking of the training, have you done any special training for this fight that's coming up?
Oh my gosh, I haven't stopped.
Really?
I
You are
can tell you.
taking it seriously then.
Well, absolutely. And I was on another stream earlier today, and I said this, and I'm absolutely firm in this statement. I'm not training for second place.
Mm-mm.
I'm
Yeah.
training. I'm training to go in there, and my intention is I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna knock him out real fast. It's gonna be brief and brutal. Um, since I have accepted his challenge, he likes to say that I challenged him, but that's not the case. I had actually accepted his. He made a challenge multiple times about how he wanted to beat up a pig, he wanted to get a cop in the cage, he wanted to pound their face. So the only thing I said was, I would like to take you up on that. So when I sent the video out, from that day forward, I have taken 1 day off from training. I took off yesterday for Memorial Day, because in Ironton, that's a huge event, the Ironton Memorial Day Parade. It's 154 years continuous.
Wow.
It's Yeah, it's the longest one in America. It's the longest running Memorial Day in America, Memorial Day Parade in America.
Nice.
And
Wow.
when you're an Ironton police officer, I can promise you, Memorial Day is the day that you're going to be exhausted. I worked 14 hours yesterday, and about 6 of those were out in the sun directing traffic.
Ooh.
So I didn't feel like hitting the gym. I had to take yesterday off. So, but other than that, I have either done some kind of cardio, whether it be running or some kind of high intensity hit type cardio, or I've worked boxing, wrestling, or jiu-jitsu, or weight training every single day.
Holy cow.
And it's starting to. I'm tired. My body's starting to get tired, but I feel great. I'm loving. As a matter of fact, it's funny because my wife, I thought she was going to be reluctant about this fight, and when she
Yeah.
found out about it, she immediately was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." I was like, "I really do." And I was explaining to her, I was like, "This is not just about Chili. This is about me. This is my opportunity to prove that I can come back from COVID and one arm and 50 pounds overweight and still get back to do something cool. And this is
Awesome.
my last hurrah. I'm 43 years old. This is not going to happen again. This is my last chance at this." And she immediately jumped aboard. She's like, "All right."
Awesome.
She's like, "Go knock him out. You got to shut him up." I was like, "Okay."
So
So I started. I'm sorry.
sorry, you're not going to submit him. You're going to knock him unconscious, basically.
You know what? Like, I actually done this, and feel free to get your followers' opinion in the chat. But I actually done this on Keeping It Criminal. I actually had them Kick actually done a poll while we were live
Mhm.
to determine. And I said I want to know what everybody wants me to do, and it was like pretty overwhelming. Everybody wants me to knock him out. So and
Nice.
I'm assuming that everybody just don't like his face well enough that they would like to see an overhand right adjusted a little bit. But
I can
um,
pretty much speak for everybody when I say hell yeah.
yeah, I think my game plan. I'm pretty confident in thinking that he probably can't beat me in any aspect, and I'm not saying that arrogantly. I'm just being realistic. I've been around fighting my whole life. I've been around a lot of fighters, and I think he's probably not really much of one. That's just my
He
opinion.
looks soft. He looks like I've never seen his body, but from what he looks like under that sweatshirt, he looks like he's just soft.
Well,
Hey,
he's definitely put together. Like he's cut out and he's strong. I mean, I have no doubt about that. But Mike Tyson actually said one of my favorite quotes years ago. He said, "Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face," and I
true.
don't think that
Mhm.
he's ever really had that. I think that he talks a big game, but I don't think he's ever really just had somebody that really does know how to throw a really good punch connect, because it really is an eye-opening experience, and you really do have a whole different view of, oh shit, this is not what I expected when you really do get hit.
The
So
worst.
I don't know if he's soft or not, but I think the first time that he gets hit with an overhand right, he's going to be really, really reevaluating everything that he's said and done.
I think the worst part about him is his fake nice guy routine when he starts off an audit.
Yeah. He's
Oh, that's theatrics.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um when did you first learn about like the whole sovereign citizen First Amendment auditor scene?
Well,
Was it at a traffic stop? Like, how did it
in
happen?
the academy, they kind of we done a little bit of awareness type training on
Oh,
some of the
neat.
more extreme groups. A lot of like the 1% bike clubs, and then
Mhm.
on to, and as you keep going, you get to the radical right wing, militia type, or the sovereign citizens, and we kind of had that type thing, go in, uh, so coming out to the road. But I had never actually dealt with one of these auditor guys. Like this was a whole new thing to me. And what was funny was I had never heard of this guy or anything. I'm at work, and like somebody said, he's like, there's this YouTuber that's like talking smack about Ironton Police Department. He's down there like video, and I'm like out on the road, and I was like, where's he at? So I mean, I just went back to the PD, and he wasn't there. So
Oh.
I kind of had a crash course with him. And I was blatantly thinking, I thought this guy's an idiot. I mean, like in my opinion, he's full of crap. He's got a big mouth, and
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know if you guys ever actually got to see any of the videos and how he actually talked to our officers, but he was just, in my opinion, ridiculously way out of line, very rude.
Yeah, he does
Um,
that with every officer he comes in contact with.
well, he
Yeah.
actually, and he knew. I think he knew that he was kind of ambushing, kind of the unexpected.
Oh yeah.
Um, and he took advantage of that. And he was
Mhm.
walking beside of him, cussing him, "Oh, you're such a pussy," or "You're such a whatever." And that just really went through me.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, like, you don't know these guys from Adam. You've
Mm-mm.
taken complaints from somebody, third party nonsense, and you dice up the story well enough until you think you have a narrative, and then you run with it, and you go to these guys who have kids and wives at home and everything else, and you talk about them like trash, and that's just uncalled for. And this got so crazy that during all this, our wives were subject to attack on social media, just
Oh.
nasty being said to them. I'm telling you, one of our officers, and I'm not going to mention names, but one of our officers had a newborn baby, and somebody actually commented on Facebook on one of those public type pictures or whatever. You know, I hope your baby gets violated like you violate people's rights.
No.
No kidding. I mean, just nonsense. And it's like, does that really make you proud of yourself? Like, I mean, and I'm not saying, and please understand, and if Chili hears this, I'm not saying that he would by any means condone that type of behavior. I don't know.
He
I don't know if
would.
he
He
would.
would. No, he would. I mean, you've heard what he says to me. There. The problem is, all frauders are like that. The things we've heard. Unfortunately, he's nothing special. He's not unique. I had to stop doing videos on these guys because it affected me so much. I can't stand the way they treat people.
I'm with you. You know, I'm a firm believer, and I've said this in my videos, and I don't know if you guys have seen it in my videos, but I've said this in my videos. I don't hate this man. I don't hate anybody. I'm not a hateful person. I'm just not. But I think that he disrespected some people that I care a lot about, both professionally and privately. You know, my wife during all this actually tried to kind of put together a little back the blue type thing in the city, and it wasn't meant to be any kind of a protest or any kind of any. It was not meant to be anything negative. Just a showing of support to the community that we still support our police. It was not at all. They weren't arguing with anybody. They weren't looking for anything negative. And after that happened, I mean, some of the things that people said, and they took pictures off her Facebook and you know, and photoshopped them with look like she had a black eye and just, you know, crazy talking nasty about her. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this little lady she's not mean to anybody. Like that's just not who she is. And you guys, and it was so bad that she calls me at work and she's so upset, she's nearly in tears. And I told her, I said, honey, I told you before you come down here what you were kind of stepping in. These people don't have the same rules of engagement, so to speak. They don't have the filters that we do. And I said, you're going to put yourself in you know, a real firing line here. So, but ultimately, you know, she's kind of grown. And I think that's kind of why she was so pro the fight too, because
good for her.
You know, she even told me, she's like, you need to go shut his mouth. Yeah. And I was like, so you want me to do this? She's like, oh yeah, I want you to knock his ass out. So I said, okay. So at that point forward, I was like, let's get it. So I started training. I contacted a promoter. I put everything I could together to make sure that he had no way to say that we couldn't do it. I'd done all the legwork. I got a promoter. I got a venue. I got the commission, the athletic commission, to agree to it, to sanction the event and everything, so that there is no ifs, ands, or buts. So, and at that point, absolutely. And I actually even sent out that video and said, you know, because at one time he actually said, well, we can't get anybody to sanction an MMA event. They just want to do grappling. And I said, I think I can get that done. So I did. And I went and actually got it sanctioned through Kentucky Athletic Commission. So we're going to actually do, and we live in a tri-state area here, or Huntington, Ashland, Ironton area here, which is Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky all together in a tri-state. So we're actually going over to Kentucky in a neighboring city in Ashland, Kentucky, to do the event, because the promoter that I found, his promotions are in Kentucky, and it was just easier to do that. It's like 5 minutes from Ironton. It's literally like right across the bridge. So it's still the same area. But we got all the legwork done. You know, the promoter's behind it, the athletic commission's behind it, and everybody's ready for this. And the only thing he's got to do is show up, and I'm giving him the opportunity. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You know, a lot of people think he's a liar. And the only thing I'm doing is I'm giving him the opportunity. He says he's a tough guy. He says he's trained MMA. He says he's going to mop the floor with me. I can't handle him. I'm untrained. I'm this and that and this and that. And I'm telling him that I'm offering him a lie detector. It's an 8-sided lie detector with mats and a cage. And if you want to get in that lie detector to determine if you're being honest or not, it's waiting in September. And that really is what it all boils down to, because like I told him on the video, he says, I'm trained, I'm this. And I said, I think you're full of shit. That's how I feel.
I personally think that he'll get an injury just prior to it.
Well, if he doesn't, he will certainly get an injury right at it.
I look forward to that. Like, since your introduction to the whole underbelly of society that is the 1AA and Southsit, have you checked out any more channels, like our side or theirs? Like, do you want?
Oh, absolutely. I have to tell you, I am blown away. I am absolutely blown. I'm humbled by not only my own physical community here and the way that they've kind of rallied behind me in this. It almost takes me back. Like, I mean, I have to kind of wrap my mind around it, because I'm thinking to myself, like, man, these people are like literally coming up to me in the gas station and like patting me on the back and, go knock his ass out, and this and type stuff. And I'm going, and everybody's, so excited about it. But the YouTube community, has reached out to me. I've done multiple live streams with different channels, and everybody's been so wonderful. And I've just kind of been accepted in, and it's like, I go to a live stream chat. Sometimes I'll check out other channels, and I'll go to live stream chat, and I'll just put, "Hey guys," and it's like I'm blown away by the response that I get. Where like everybody's like, "Hey man, hey, how are you doing?" It's like, wow. Like, I mean, to me, I'm nobody. Like, I'm just the guy that I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies. I don't like people with a big mouth, and that doesn't set right with me. And it's not that I really want to hurt this guy. I just want to give him the opportunity to show if he really is the real deal or not. But because of the way that I kind of stepped up to do this, everybody has accepted me in so much, and it's a humbling experience, and it's awesome. But on the other side, because because I have checked out, the Blue Bacons of the world, and the Skeptic, and a few other ones that obviously I've done stuff with Keeping It Criminal. Kicks awesome, and because I've done that, the opposite side pops up in my my news feed, so to speak, too. So I've got to see them, and oh my god, like if there was ever a stereotypical lunch money victim,
Yes.
like somebody who was blatantly like bullied in school, to me that's what these guys are. Like that one guy, and I'm terrible with names, maybe you guys can help me, but he's out west, and his name's Glenn something.
Stereo.
Yeah, he lives where I do. No, he doesn't. Well, he's in Washington, right?
Yeah, it's in
I think-
Washington,
Yeah.
near me.
Near you.
Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like, dude, seriously, like, go back to your mom's basement. Like, for real. Like, this is just, it's crazy that this guy's acting like he does. He blatantly goes, and then he starts talking about how he's going to beat this cop up or sweep his leg. And I'm like,
Sweep
dude,
leg, yeah.
you can't lift your leg.
Nope.
Like,
Yeah. Hey, Marvel, people are saying your volume's low, by the way.
Okay. Can't really do anything in that here, but I'll try to speak more into the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, Glenn. We have a long history with Glenn. That's for sure. He called my my ex-boss fat. He called, and my best friend, he just died recently, Schrodinger's cat. He had a body much like yours. So, yeah. Not fat.
Okay. I don't like to do the body shaming thing. I'm way out of shape right now, and I put on a lot of weight, and I never do. But if you're gonna tell me how you're gonna beat people up and sweep the leg, you should probably hold that in until you get in the gym a little bit and your belly doesn't hang out your shirt in the bottom.
Yeah.
Just my opinion, but nobody's gonna buy that nonsense, dude. You're not sweeping anybody's leg. You're not gonna beat up anybody. You would have to take a 5-minute break in between tying each shoe. Okay.
And
You can't even sweep a floor right now, so.
Yeah, exactly.
when they really show their true colors when somebody does to them what they do to police.
Oh.
Like with Glenn, we have some people in the community, Tella and Combat Wombat, who follow, like, they go to his court cases, and he's called the police on them.
Oh, sure.
Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, did you see Uncle Artie's video where he actually like basically showed up at his court and stuff and was telling him, and this guy literally just completely punks out. I mean, you could see it right there on the video. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, you're such a bad dude until somebody shows up that's calling you out on it.
Yeah, he was with Tella and Combat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm jumping back on Chili.
Mhm.
But did you see the stream with Kate yesterday and at the parade?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was funny.
Is that not the ultimate irony of somebody who goes around and preaches to children? And I'm sorry, but if I'm a parent there and this guy comes out of nowhere telling my children to not trust police, that's not going to go right with me. Who are you to tell my children what their ideals and beliefs are going to be?
Well,
Because, that's crazy to me.
absolutely.
And then, of course, he gets confronted by an educated woman that's not intimidated by him and knows he's full of it. And what does he do? He goes to the police on video and
Yep.
wants to tell. And it's like, oh my gosh, dude. Like,
One of his-
seriously?
Yeah, one of his own people was calling him out for that in his chat earlier.
Is that right?
Good.
Yeah.
They
She said,
should.
"Oh, you're just like the bootlickers. You're going to the cops. Blah blah blah." Yeah.
Please rub his face in that when you see him. Yeah, and like, they're all that bad. PayPal Patty, who's Patrick Roth, right, guys? And
Yep.
Josh Abrams, who he was there with, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. I'm not familiar with that guy. That's the first experience I'd had with him.
Oh, he's
He kind
bad.
of seems like he's a little mouthy crony that kind of sits back in the back type. I don't know him.
He's
But-
he's really bad. He's disgusting. He harasses homeless people. He's been charged with attempted rape. He's just not a good guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they're all criminals though.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know if anybody's picking up on the consistency and what is going on here, but have we ever noticed that it appears that in order to be anti-police, First Amendment, and there's a whole group of Second Amendment auditors too, and I have personally had experience with those, and I'm a huge Pro 2A guy, guy.
Yeah.
But some of these guys are so outlandishly just crazy in
Scary.
their practices, and it's the same type of people, and it's like they're always that same. They've either had
Authoritarian.
exactly, and they've had that previous run in with the police because they broke the damn law,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh wait a minute, let me get this straight. It's the police's fault that you got arrested for possession of drugs, or you got arrested for domestic violence, or you got arrested for this. So let's break this down. That's a narcissist.
Oh,
You're
they
blaming
are.
somebody else because you made a mistake. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, crazy to me. And it seems like it's always the common denominator. Is there always some kind of past history of either some kind of criminal conviction, or the stereotypical lunch money victim that doesn't know how to handle it, and he finally gets a little bit of strength to be able to face
And,
somebody he thinks has power, I guess.
Yeah, and none of them know the law correctly. You gotta lie to fraud it, really.
Sure.
It's not a good group of people, definitely. Like, one thing though, I see, because we do see a lot of videos with sovereign citizens. Have you ever done a traffic stop where you had a sovereign citizen?
Oh yeah. It's downright entertaining. And my favorite one is like when you go up there and they start talking about the Articles of Confederation. I'm like, you do realize that was superseded by the United States Constitution, right?
Yeah, they
like
lost.
that's gone. And then or they'll go up there and they'll like put like their driver's license or something up against the window, but not let you like take it because they think that's the way. And I'm thinking, or they'll kind of like, you run their driver's license and they'll be like, hey, what's the last four of your social? They'll be like, I'm not telling you my social, I don't have to. And I'm like, okay. So I'll get on and be like, dispatch of my subject social. And I'm like, if you don't want me to tell it, I'll just air it all over the air. I mean, it's your choice.
Mhm.
But the truth of it is, and everybody has this chip on their shoulder. And it's like, you do realize that we really don't care about your nonsense like you think we do. You're not schooling us in anything. We don't care. If you want to go around and say you're a sovereign citizen and you're this and that, I don't care. But ultimately, if you drive in the state of Ohio, you are still required to meet certain criteria.
Right.
You have to have a driver's license. You have to have a legal motor vehicle.
But they're traveling, not driving.
Isn't that funny?
Mark it down.
Like, they love those crazy definitions. And it's like, you got to be kidding me, right?
Yeah.
But Black's Law Dictionary.
Oh, yeah. Or what was the is it the Moorish?
I was
Maybe
gonna say,
there-
have you met a Moor yet?
No, I have not. I've just
Ooh,
watched the
they're fun.
videos.
They're
But it's
fun.
like you really honestly, you've devoted your entire life to being indoctrinated with nonsense. Like when one of these days when you really do wake up and you're going to say, wow, that was a lot of wasted years for stupid stuff.
And money, don't forget the fines, the
Oh yeah,
bail, the towing, everything.
craziness,
Instead of paying
craziness.
$70 to register their car, they're going through all that and the time invested.
Absolutely,
Yeah, time is
absolutely.
money.
You should
It's
tell him
crazy.
about Herbert.
Oh yeah, you should definitely check out. I'll give you a couple channels to check out later.
You're wanting my anxiety to go up, aren't you?
No, this guy is comedy gold, really.
Oh,
He really, truly is.
you know what I have found though is I don't like giving them views. So what I usually do is when I find one, I will look for the guys that just roast them, and then I'll watch their channel and give them views, but I still get the same
Yeah.
content.
Yeah.
You know? Because I don't want to. I'm sorry, but I've never actually watched one of Delete Law's videos.
Oh, neither have I.
I always watch. Somebody will share a little clip of it or something, or somebody will break it down and say, "Look how silly he's acting." I,
Right.
I I'm not going to give him views because I don't support his agenda. I think he's off doing something silly. I don't agree with his ideas. I think he's wrong in his interpretation of the Constitution. I'm a huge constitutionalist, and what he is actually describing is not constitutional
No,
republic.
it's not.
He is literally describing anarchy.
Yes. Yes.
So
Well, it's in his name, delete laws.
But yet, there's another little example of irony? Let's call myself Delete Laws, but then I want to stand on law in order to
Yeah.
to justify my argument.
Yeah.
Well, United States versus blah 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 blah, and I'm going, dude, are you just spouting off nonsense case law? Because I've never even heard of this stuff. But if you're so confident in it, then why are you calling yourself Delete Laws?
Yeah. They all have the same weakness. They read case law up to the point where it confirms their bias, and then they stop reading the case. And they don't realize that 9 times out of 10, maybe 9.5 times out of 10, it does not say what they think it says. Like poster 7, for instance.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up poster 7. Yeah.
So yeah, we see it all too often here.
Well, I don't know if you guys have actually seen the trifold. Have you guys seen that?
Seen what, huh?
The trifold that Chili sells or gives away or whatever he does.
No.
Oh yeah. He's got this trifold that basically you're supposed to follow it to a T if you're ever encountered with the big bad police.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a script, you say?
Well, no, it's examples that he's given of either like appellate decisions or maybe even I've never really been specific.
He
They either appellate
pasted
decisions.
it from like Mark Stevens or something like that.
It is. It's one of those repeated type things. However, he mentions one example about an ordinance in the city of Houston, Texas, where there was actually some case law brought up where the city of Houston tried to pass a law that says that you can't argue with police type thing. And this has been back in the day or whatever. Well, it got overturned, at a Supreme Court level, which is fine because I ultimately agreed with it. We are public servants and I'm a huge First Amendment advocate. But where he uses it out of context is this. If I pull you over and you're the driver of a motor vehicle, my investigation is now on you. However, let's just say you have a passenger in the car. And while I'm conducting my investigation speaking with you, the passenger begins chiming over me and interrupting my investigation. That is no longer freedom of speech. You are now interfering with official business. You are now, and it blows my mind because it's like, you really can't see that that's obstructing.
Yeah, freedom of speech is not absolute in and of itself anyway.
Certainly not. Yeah. Well, we see that based on the merit of your speech anyway.
Right.
I mean, I can go out and act, and I'll tell you, and this was something that was taught to me years ago about constitutional values. Your freedoms as an American citizen extend to the tip of the next person's nose.
Yes.
I can go out and act like a complete moron. I can dress like a fool. I can act like a fool. I can do whatever until I interfere with the rights or freedoms of the next person. And there's a line that's drawn there, because if I go out here and I say, well, such and such is an asshole, and I cuss and scream, that's one thing. But if I go out here and say, I'm going to whip such and such's ass, now that changed, because my mannerisms changed. I literally changed what my speech was for. It becomes an aggressive thing. It becomes criminal, and that's where laws come in. And they just can't wrap their mind around that. Well, free speech should protect anything. Well, if that's the case, then why is it that you want to run and tattletale on Kate when she comes up to you and standing close to you? Does she have the right of? Does she have free speech to be able to stand there and do what she wants to do? She's not threatening you.
Yeah, none of them actually believe in freedom of speech.
No, I agree.
They, especially on YouTube, they will strike our videos. Like when I was working with Schrodinger, we had no less than 15 copyright strikes on videos
wow.
we did on them, or he did on them. So yeah, they don't believe in freedom of speech except for themselves.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of times too. Is laws left up to interpretation, and I tell people all the time, the law is black and white and gray all over. And that's the problem, is we don't. It's always left up to interpretation. Usually by, if we're fortunate enough, then we'll have an appellate decision or Supreme Court ruling. But a lot of times it's left up to maybe even a local prosecutor or a district attorney or a local court that's kind of ruled on something before. It doesn't make it by any means case law, but it kind of at least sets kind of a precedent of what that court expects. So we're not ever going to see a 100% consistency throughout the United States ever, because not everything gets to the appellate level or to the Supreme Court.
And
that's just,
involved.
exactly, there's always human error, and that's something that in my experience with Chili, that he takes no consideration of except for his own.
No, of course not. Yeah, he's as megalomaniacal as the next one.
Well, I haven't experienced all of them, and the ones that you guys have mentioned, but I have watched a few of them, and oh my.
I think I've been doing this too long because I know way too much.
Now, I'll tell you, have you guys experienced the Ironton Auditor?
No.
No. That's a new one.
Okay, Ironton Auditor, and if you get a chance, check him out. I'll tell you why. He kind of started under Chili a little bit, okay? And I think, Terry's he's a nice fella, and he's an educated guy, and I think his common sense allowed him to realize that style of auditing is not effective. If you really are trying to make a difference, and I even told Chili this, and I'm confident with this, if you really are trying to make a difference, if you really are civic minded, and you really do want to see change for the right reasons, I'll subscribe to your channel. I'll follow you. I'll join the fight with you. As a police officer, I will, because I'm with you. If they're doing something wrong, if they're violating people's rights, if they're not upholding the Constitution, they have no room in my job, because I take that very seriously. However, you getting out there and acting like a fool on the side of the street and cussing these guys out is not change. No. You are doing that for theatrics. You are doing that for views. That's all you want. Terry, on the other hand, an Ironton Auditor, he goes out, he stands back, he's quiet, he doesn't interrupt. He just kind of like the old cop watch type thing, right? Mm-hmm. He's very respectful to the officers. He introduces himself when they're finished, and our guys they've kind of grown a respect for him. That they know he's not out there to cuss them and act silly. And at the end of the traffic stop, they're like, hey, this is what I stopped them for. And, they kind of give a little debrief, if you will.
Yeah.
Because he's not out to just try to hang them,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is I'm all about it. I'm all about the transparency thing. Chili asked me, he's like, what about the body cams? I want to see your body cams. Can you get them for me? I said, no, I can't. See, that's what I'm talking about. I said, no, you're not giving me the opportunity to answer. I physically can't. I don't have the access because, first of all, you do have to realize there is certain things that have to be redacted. I mean,
right.
You can't really think. Well, our body cams don't have the luxury of a YouTube camera that we point in the direction that we want it to. When we get out on a call and we activate that camera, it records everything that it sees, which there's times I've walked in houses and, children involved, and sometimes you maybe see a baby in a diaper or whatever else. and that's not something that you should have the right to just because you want it. That's not
They
right.
don't understand that though. They don't understand
Oh, I'm
that or security, integrity. There's a lot of words they don't understand.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry, I just really don't like these guys.
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we blame you on that one.
But maybe we should hit the super chats.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So Michael Kraus for $10 says my traditional bad dad joke for the stream.
Oh.
I asked a rookie what he would do if he had to arrest his mother. He said I'd call for backup. Kick Chili's female arse. All right.
I call for backup.
If he had to arrest his mother, he'd call for backup.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he's insinuating like mom
I
and not
get
his.
it. Yeah. Oh, by the way, all the supers are going to St. Jude's, which is a charity you guys are fighting for, right? Both of you are doing
That's
it?
awesome. Yes. And that's something that I'm a huge believer in. Nobody can say a bad word about St. Jude's. I don't care what sign you're on. It doesn't matter. That's a wonderful institution doing wonderful things. And I think that anybody who has the opportunity that's blessed enough to be able to do that, to give to them, by all means, please do.
Yeah, we had a good friend, another creator, OPT lawyer, died of cancer not too long ago. Could be about what, 8 months ago? 9 months ago?
It was about 5 now. Yeah.
Yeah, so
5 or
fuck
6.
cancer in the chat.
Yeah, it's
Oh wow, wait, read the one from Cajunese, please. I wish I could put it on the on the screen. Holy cow.
Cajunese for $200 says it's for the kids, and don't call me Luna. LOL.
Cajunese, thank you. $200, that's
Awesome.
amazing.
Awesome.
Such a generous man. Thank you. Alright, go ahead, Kobe, I'm sorry.
All right. So we've got Captain Cactus for £5. That's for Captain Cactus for £10. He says for St. Jude's, and go support Canada on his channel.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Simon Michener for £5 says Captain. Is it Goo?
Goo, yeah. Right?
It's actually pronounced Guy. It's actually French. But yeah, it's actually pronounced Guy. But everybody's called me Goo my whole life, so I just kind of take it.
Okay. He says, please put this toward buying Mr. DeCastro a hat so we'll have something to carry his teeth home in after the bout.
Simon. Go ahead.
Mrs. Schrodinger's cat for $19.99 says, whip that ass, please.
I will give it my best, I promise.
Crippled Cat, $5 says for St. Jude's. Thank you.
Awesome.
Gina asked for $20, says for the kids.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Really.
Awesome.
Did you get
Wonderful.
any questions?
Yeah, we got some questions as well.
Okay, go ahead while I look over my notes.
Okay. Simon Michener, member for 6 months, says, name of the band, ? I guess he means when you were in high school?
Ah.
Actually the name of the band was Hollow Trust. And we played a lot of clubs in the Huntington area. Gosh, it felt like a lifetime ago. But yeah, we were a rock band. If I were to compare us, we were probably if the Black Crowes were to meet AC/DC.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of a traditional, just hard rock, good, feel good music.
Cool. NCR News Network says, is Chad going to go for a striking style of fighting or a submission or technical style of fighting?
I have no idea what that means.
I feel confident in every aspect. I'm probably my least is wrestling because I never wrestled. But I feel confident in my boxing, and I feel confident in my grappling. And I have been drilling wrestling because Chili says he's a freestyle wrestler. So my coaches have been drilling wrestling defense, takedown defense for the past several weeks. So I feel confident saying that I can probably keep the fight wherever I want to. I would like to try for an early knockout because I think I've got the punch power to be able to end it. But if not, then I'll be happy to choke him out.
All right.
Wow.
Mrs. Schrodinger's cat says, "Aren't you scared that you will be sued after you knock him out? Just the type of guy he is."
That's what the attorneys are for. That's the benefit of having the promoter. The promoter and the actual organization are doing all the paperwork, and we're signing an agreement that basically is. I mean, he can sue. Obviously, you can sue for whatever. You know, anybody can sue for whatever. But just because you sue doesn't mean it's going to mean anything when the courts even, if they even want to hear it. So, but ultimately, the promoter and the company will actually take care of all that stuff and make sure everything's legal. So, I'm not really concerned with that.
Speaking of the promoter, like, how did you find him? Who is he?
Well, I kind of, like I said, I kind of grew up on the fight game. I've been around for years. I'm 43, so my whole life basically. Trained jiu-jitsu and so on, and I had kind of been put in touch through a grapevine that this was happening. I'd seen something pop up on Facebook that said there's going to be cage fighting come back to the area, and I just reached out and said, "Hey, here's what's up." And I walked him through everything, explained to him what was going on. He actually done a little research on me, I guess, a little bit, and on Chili, and he come back and said, "You guys are not 20 years old, so I got to make sure that we can get this actually sanctioned through the athletic commission. But if in fact we can, then by all means we'll do it." And that's where the whole idea started coming together for how the charities would handle it. Because my original thing was to Chili was I wanted for the winner to pick the charity.
Right.
And I said it in the video for the FOP just because I wanted to kind of rub in his face. But
Yeah.
I always really wanted St. Jude's because that's kind of always been something near to my heart. I can't even stand to watch his commercials on TV without
Oh, yeah.
it's so sad. But that's where we agreed on, and the promoter is going to donate on our behalf. So that's how we're doing this for charity. Basically, what the fighters would be paid is going directly to St. Jude's. So everything that they would pay, and I don't know what that figure is. I'm not going to pretend that I do. Probably anywhere from $1,500 to a couple $1,000. I really don't know. But they're going to pay directly to St. Jude's on our behalf for actually doing the fight.
Awesome. And like, this is gonna be like, is there actually gonna be a cage there?
Oh yeah. It's called ECC Cage Fighting. If you look it up on Facebook, you can find it. It's ECC Cage Fighting, and it's actually Nightmare Promotions is what it's called. And there's going to be 11 other fights on the card, I believe.
Holy cow!
We're just going to. Our fight will be the main event in the September card.
And September what?
We don't know. It hasn't been set in stone
Okay.
because it's scheduling, but it's in September. It's all we know for sure.
And it's gonna be over there in Ironton?
It's in Ashland, Kentucky. It's right across the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like, is it pay-per-view? Like, how can we watch it?
You know what? There's actually been a little bit of through the vine talk that because of the attention that this is getting, that there might be a pay-per-view company interested.
Neat.
But I don't know that. I'm probably not even the right person to even speak on that because I don't know enough to even comment. But that's been talked about. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Wow. So pretty cool. Like, it's gonna have like an arena and people will pay tickets to see.
Oh yeah. It's a full. If you look up, like I said, if you get on Facebook and look up ECC Cage Fighting, or if you get on my channel, I actually shared one of their promo videos on my channel, and it shows guys in the cage fighting and so
Yeah,
on
I
and
did
so
see
forth.
that on your channel. Okay, that's that. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I know Kick's gonna be going to watch it, right?
I think Kick is, and I mean, you know what? It looks like just about everybody in the community is going. I don't know for sure, but there's a possibility Blue Bacon will be there. There's a possibility that Kick will be there. I think Artie mentioned that he wants to come up, and some others. So I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, so there'll be probably several people actually streaming it. I'm assuming.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, Cliffy, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, Cajunese says, if Chili punks out, does St. Jude still get a donation? Sorry if it's already been asked. I showed up late.
No, no, yeah, that's a good question.
Here's the only thing that I know. I'm assuming that the promotion company will probably make a donation of some sort, but I can't answer that for certain. But what I'm trying to do, and the reason why I'm doing the videos, and the reason why I'm doing these streams and everything else, is to go ahead and encourage people to
Right.
donate. Because if nothing else, even if we just get individual donations and stuff for a good cause,
Raise
because
awareness.
sure, absolutely, that's wonderful to me. Even if we never see the inside of that cage, but it gets people fired up to
Right.
get him something good, then I'm great with it.
And the link to donate to St. Jude's is also in the description
Awesome,
for
awesome, awesome.
anybody here and anybody who comes after. Just got another one. Go ahead.
Mrs. Schrodinger's cat 49.99 says for St. Jude's. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
One,
Nicole. She's the
one,
And
wife of my best friend, Schrodinger.
awesome.
um, Abby Poland says, I hope someone reports that Chili is trying to take St. Jude donations personally.
Hmm?
I I think, and I may be wrong, and they can correct me in the chat if I'm speaking on the wrong thing, but somebody said that he wanted to put a portal up. To
For.
basically, I'm assuming, once again, this is just my opinion. I'm assuming that he was wanting a portal that allows the monies to be donated to him, and then he in
Oh,
return
gotcha.
forwards. Okay, to clarify for your followers and the viewers of this was something I never agreed to. This was something that was never discussed. This is something that Chili has stepped out on his own to do. This
Oh.
has nothing to do with me or this event. Okay, I ask that everybody donates directly to St. Jude's. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want any money sent to me. I don't want any money. I don't want anything given to me because I'm doing this for the right reasons. I want to do this to
Mm-hmm.
just say that I've done something that I can be proud of, and look back and know that it was a good cause. So if you donate to that, please be aware that that has nothing to do with the original fight agreement. I'm asking for people to donate directly to St.
Yeah, there's
Jude's.
no reason for him to set up anything.
Yeah,
That's
after what happened with Tina Slay and him raising money for her supposedly for
Yeah.
her son and then pocketing it.
Are
So
yeah.
you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask about that. Somebody had mentioned you putting his her son's name on your rats or something.
I agreed that with her permission, that I would actually have his name written on my fists.
All
cool.
right, all right. We just got another one.
Mike71 for $20 says for the kids. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Um,
Awesome.
We do have
got
an amazing community here. Like
Oh, it's amazing.
they
It's awesome.
they never cease to amaze me how generous they are and how much they care about others. It's they're the best group of people I've ever known, really.
And I think that's why at times I feel so almost overwhelmed and humbled because I realized how big this cause got is so much bigger than me.
Mhm.
Um, this
Mhm.
has truly become an entire community, an entire nation of people. I mean,
Mhm.
I have people reaching out to me from all over even the world and saying nice things and I'm thinking to myself like, wow, like it really kind of sets me back. And I'm going, I can't believe that, because I mean, I'm nobody. I'm just Chad. Like, I mean, I'm not some super pro fighter, or I'm not, any type of, I mean, I got 400 followers on YouTube. I mean, I'm not anybody. And to think that the amount of people that have poured out support in this, it really is, it's an overwhelming feeling. And to know that I feel like God has put me in the right position to maybe do something good, and I'm focused, I'm determined, and I'm driven.
That's awesome.
so Aaron Rodgers said she gave $50 directly to St. Jude. So thank you very much for
Thank you,
that.
Aaron Ronan. Thank you.
Some
Yeah.
Uh,
And for the 30% that YouTube takes out, I'll just put it back in. So everything you guys give will go straight to St. Jude's.
Wow, that's awesome.
Awesome.
We do what we can around here because I have been helped by this community so much. I don't have time to explain everything they've done for me. They are amazing people, like I said, and you gotta pay it forward. So
I absolutely agree.
that's how we do it. Any more questions, Clippy?
Yeah, NJ American says Leaducator 810. Are you going to arrest Meth Jose if he shows up back in Ironton on his active warrant?
Oh yeah,
Um,
they asked me to ask you about that active war.
um, let me say this. I want to clarify. I'm gonna divide something up for you guys and for the
Okay.
followers. My Leducator channel, this venture that I have undergone here and began to train for a fight is nothing to do with my official capacity with
Mm.
the Ironton Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can't um, I can't speak on behalf of the police department. However, let me say this: in my own personal interest, I have no interest in arresting Chili whatsoever. This is me wanting to do something good for our community, do something good for a wonderful charity, and to hopefully kind of come together on this, even though that I don't agree with him and he don't agree with me. We can agree to do something good for a good cause. What Chili does, I don't agree with as far as my profession goes, and in my opinion, he's going to have to eventually answer for that. Um, so as far as if he shows up in Ironton and I'm working and he has a warrant, I can't not arrest him. That's a judge's order, and that would be dereliction
Yeah.
of duty for me.
Right. For those asking, hit the link to Chad's channel's in the description for those who've just come in and haven't subbed yet. So, because I know they're asking for it. Go ahead, Cliff.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. From yesterday, we got a few questions. Uh, Stephen Alley says, "Are you going to sweep the leg and the ground and pound Jose?"
Yeah, that's never gonna
You
live
know,
down.
what's funny is like my coach and I'll get to this in a minute, but he seems to think that Chili's not going to be able to take my boxing, that I'm gonna knock him out. But our training is I have been doing a lot of takedown training that puts me in a position for ground and pound. And if that happens, my intention is to absolutely take him to the ground and finish him. So yes, I'm training a lot of ground and pound, and I don't know I'm gonna sweep the leg. I don't know that I'm gonna try that, but either way, either he'll get double leg, single leg, or possibly tossed. But
I would love to see him get kicked in the
he will definitely, in my opinion, not gonna have a good day.
Yeah. We got one more question. Mrs. Schrodinger's cat says, "What is Chad's backup for when Chili don't show up to the fight?"
Yeah. Or he
I
shows
have been
up with an excuse.
I have been asked that a lot lately, and
Mm-hmm.
and I actually put a lot of thought into this. I really did, because I'm not going to lie. This is a very exciting thing for me because it is frightening. Anybody that says that they're going to get in a cage and fight and says they're not scared is either a liar or there's something wrong with them.
Right.
Because it is a scary thing. I'm not 21 years old anymore. And I put a lot of thought in it, and I actually considered finding another opponent, a heavyweight opponent,
A
MMA
backup.
fighter. Yeah, and to kind of put together for a fight. But I realized that I really have nothing to prove.
Mm-mm.
As far as that goes, it's not going to benefit me to risk my health, and take a chance on my profession or something along
True.
those lines. So I'll probably just step out of it. I am going to continue competing in grappling tournaments and jiu-jitsu tournaments, but probably not MMA. And I actually talked to my wife about it and everything. Do you want me to take another fight? And at first we were like, yeah, you've been working so hard. And then it hit me. I was like, I'm probably going to get in there and fight some guys like 22, 23 years old. And the chances are of me getting out of there, win or lose, without really getting hurt or, putting a lot of risk, it's just not worth it. So,
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to fight. I actually considered, and I'll say this to you guys now. I actually considered letting the offer stand on YouTube for any of these frauditors
Mm.
that want to play alpha, that talk the smack to the police officers and say, if you really are serious, I'll offer you the same thing I did Chili. Put your money where your mouth is. I've got a cage waiting for a lie detector. If you really do want to get in the ring or a cage with a police officer, I'm your man. And let's do it. But to be honest with you, most of them that I have seen would be more like abuse than a fight. I don't foresee these guys really being an opponent whatsoever. At least Chili's athletic, and he's put together athletic guy. I some of these guys I'm like, wow, like I mean that would be the walk to the cage would probably beat them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
the only one I've ever heard say, talk about fighting really was Glenn, and he would get winded, like just getting to the cage. Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah,
said it.
I don't even know that I would fight him, or that if I did fight him, I don't know that I would really try to hurt him. I don't think it would be fair.
Yeah. Oh, we wouldn't mind though, really.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like I'd say he's one of the worst out there. Just the racism and he's a homophobe. He's transphobe. He's a sexist, misogynist. He's everything bad.
Yeah, I think he's not so much a phobe as much as he's just kind of one of those anti guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And basically, I'm just going to be against anything that you possibly are against right now because I love conflict.
I truly think he's like MGTOW in a big way. He's just the biggest insult ever. And he's
Yeah.
putting on a show that, I choose not to have sex with anybody. And no, nobody will near you, Glenn. You know that.
Yeah, dude, don't play that
His
game.
own parents and like brothers and sisters have TROs against him, so
Wow.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm, I think we have pretty much covered the gamut. Is there anything like you want to share that we haven't gone over?
I would like to kind of give a shout out if you don't mind.
Please.
I'd like to give a shout out to Tataris MMA in Ashland, Kentucky, and my coach Zach Wilds for working me to death, but putting me through it and getting me ready for a fight at my age. These guys are putting a lot of work in to get me ready. There's a lot of fighters in our gym that are actually preparing for their own fights,
Aw.
and they're even taking time away from their own training to teach the old man some new tricks.
Aw.
And we've got. And obviously, I want to give a big shout out to ECC Cage Fighting, Nightmare Promotions for what they've done, and they've literally stepped up so much to help out and made things happen that I didn't think were going to happen. As a matter of fact, they are going to create, and I don't know if you've seen this before, but they are going to create their own title belt for this fight.
Get out.
They're actually going to put together a First Amendment championship belt.
No.
Yeah, so it's going to be so cool. The winner will get a title belt for this fight. So, and it's just a little bit extra kind of incentive, bragging rights to go along with it, which is kind of neat. But absolutely, Nightmare Promotions, ECC Cage Fighting, as well as First Capital Recovery and Counseling. I was so blessed and almost I was at disbelief when I'd actually posted a picture on my Facebook a few weeks back, getting an opinion on a fight trunk. And I put these trunks on there that I was interested in, and I said, "Hey, is anybody, what do you guys think about this for the fight? Just kind of getting opinions." And everybody was like, "Oh, those are awesome, whatever." And then, like a week or so later, I'm at work, and one of the guys from that company walks up and hands me a package and says, "We got your shirts."
Aha.
So I was like, "Oh wow!" Like, I mean, I didn't even know that was coming. I didn't know it was happening. But for a rehab facility to step up, and say, we appreciate what you do. We want to support this. Here's you some trunks, for your fight type thing. It was a real blessing, and it really was awesome. And the community's been like that overall. I love the community that we live in. I love the city of Ironton. We love serving the city of Ironton. And the people are just amazing to me. Very, very blessed. And I want to literally give a huge shout out to you guys and to all the other amazing support that I have stumbled on in the YouTube community, and the people and the way they've welcomed me in. I'm absolutely blown away, and I can't thank you enough. And I mean that sincerely. There was a time where I felt almost like this is kind of foolish of me. What are you doing, Chad? You're too old for this. You're out of shape. Everybody's going to laugh at you, think this is stupid that you're even trying to challenge somebody like a schoolyard fight. And then everybody's sitting back going, no, this is a good cause. It's a good thing. We support you or whatever. And it truly has kept me motivated. And I promised myself when I very first did kind of start getting some subscribers that I wouldn't ever be that guy that says make sure you like, subscribe, notification type thing. But I'm to the point now where I'm actually asking people. YouTube has become a secondary interest of mine now, and it's becoming more and more. And by getting followers, people subscribing and commenting on my videos, it keeps me motivated. It keeps me accountable, and it keeps me motivated. So please, I'm not gonna, be the guy that begs for them. But if it's something that you think's interesting, you want to follow my journey and see as I do get back in fight shape, or as I do trying to take on this task as an old man, whether you want to see a policeman get hit in the face and beat up, or if you want to see, an auditor get beat up, either one way it's going to happen. And if you would consider liking and subscribing to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will keep everybody posted as best I can. I try to do a video. I wish I could do a video every day, but it's just not really practical for me. But I do as often as I can. I kind of give a little bit of an update. Just, hey, this is kind of stuff I'm doing today, or this is what's going on. If there's any more details in the fight, so by all means consider checking it out, and I will keep going. I promise, and I give you guys my word. I give all your followers my word. I can't guarantee I'm going to win. This guy may be the real deal, and he may sweep the floor with me. I don't know. But I can say this: I promise you, I will give everything I got. Promise to do everything I can to beat this guy and bring my best game in September. I give you my word.
Let me ask you, if he does not show, is there going to be a second chance?
You know what? Honestly, it really here's the thing. In July 9th, we are having a contract signed. They are doing that at one of their events in the same place, and they want us to come down for like an intermission thing and get in the cage and actually sign the contract to make it official. I'm asking for everybody to really push that issue right now, because I think that's the first step to solidifying this, so we can guarantee it's going to happen. Because if we get Chili to show up in Ashland and sign those papers in July, it's going to be even more realistic for him. I don't think he'll be so easy to back out. So
you heard, guys, get on him in every one of his videos, comment section.
Absolutely. And the more that you guys check out things and keep pushing it, there are some local businesses that are actually putting together some t-shirts. I had made mention about the lie detector, the 8-sided lie detector, and there's actually a shirt that's the octagon lie detector.
Awesome.
And then there's some other artists and designers actually in the Ironton area were awesome enough to put together it's Chad Ironman Q. It's got the helmet and stuff, and they're going to do a t-shirt that they're going to put together for that. I don't have anything to do with that. These are independent businesses that are actually doing some shirts that people have designed. But there is going to be some stuff that comes out that I just want to see the businesses get some a promotion out of it, because this has nothing to do with me. But it's so awesome to see people chip in and do this. It's awesome.
Will you be posting where we can find those things on your channel, or like?
I will gather as best I can. I'll see if I can get some links or something, or maybe at least some details in an upcoming video.
Awesome.
We can do that. But I know that there's some kind of, I guess, rough layout prototype, so to speak, have kind of been put together with a couple different things. And what was really cool, and I have to mention this, is I told you what my wife had to go through over this nonsense. And one of the guys that actually designed the original, the Iron Man thing with the helmet and the whole 9 yards, actually made one that says Lady Iron Man, and actually put a blonde ponytail on it for my wife. So there'll actually be some Lady Iron Man ones too. So which is kind of neat. So, but yeah, we're really excited about everything, and I absolutely, I'm ready to go. Like, I mean, probably physically, I'm probably not really there to be able to go as hard as I want to right now, but I done 3 miles tonight on a trail run,
Whew.
and it was really hot, like super hot. And it was so hot when I come back, I took my t-shirt off. I mean, I threw it in the back of my truck, and it actually sounded like I threw like a brick or something in the truck because I was so.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I probably lost 5 pounds of water in that run. Um, but and I won't quit, and that's my pledge is I'm going to keep driving. You know, if he shows up, and maybe he is as good as he says he is, if he shows up, he's going to have it to do. Like he's going to have to stand toe to toe with me and take my shots. So, and this is, yes, it is for charity, but I don't want anybody to think that this is a gimmick. I'm getting in there to fight him as hard as I can. I promise you that.
Oh, we trust, we believe, we believe. Cliff, you want to give us those last two before we close it out?
Yeah, so Simon Mitchell, member for 10 Months Avenger, says, Captain Chad, please pass a physical delivery address to AMG so delivery of some cookies can be arranged for the troops at Ironton PD.
I'll get
Awesome.
the police department address. Yeah, we love giving cookies out. Apparently, they're
That's
great
awesome.
cookies too. They're like a half a pound each.
Oh my
They're
gosh! Now see, you
huge.
guys know I'm training, and now I'm gonna have to. Now see, I'm gonna have to sit back and watch everybody else eating cookies at the PD one. Well,
We'll make
can I
sure we
leave
get
some?
you some after. How about that?
Deal. I'll take that.
All right.
All right.
And the
And
other one?
Alan Eyes for £8.99 says, for St. Jude's, love from Scotland. Chad, please kick his butt. Near to 500 subs now.
All
Oh
right.
wow, wow.
Thank
That's
you.
like, yeah, that's like 100 since I've been on here.
That's awesome. Thank you
Well, he
guys.
said, I think you're at about 430, actually. He said you're closer to 500.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, okay.
okay. Oh, okay. I was like, damn, guys.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I was like at four. I think I was maybe just over 400 at the beginning of the video. So that's awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. That means so much to us.
And we'll keep pushing it. I'll be tweeting out your link and everything.
And
But
I promise you, I will do my best to knock his ass out. I give you my pledge.
we'll all be rooting for you. And if we can possibly, we'll be watching.
Absolutely. And if there's anything I can do for you guys or any of your subscribers, let me know, and we'll work on anything we have to. I want to see this community grow. I love the awareness. I love the awareness of real people,
Mm,
of just not nonsense based on theatrics and an agenda.
right.
Just real people that just want to talk about real things and say, you know what, there are bad cops out there. I'm a captain of a police department. I can tell you, I've seen videos of cops that make me ashamed. And you know, the whole the George Floyd thing disgusted me.
Mhm.
Like that guy, in my opinion, had no business ever be in my profession. It sickens me. And there's other stuff that I have seen that absolutely it infuriates me. But I can promise you this: in 15 years, I can swear with everything in me that I have never physically witnessed any of my men do anything that I feel is a blatant violation of anybody's civil rights. Now, could we have missed the mark? Very, very likely. We're humans. There might have been something that I'm not aware of, that I made a small error, or one of my men made a small error. And if that's the case, I'm all about saying I'm sorry. You know, I don't know, but I can promise you that I never intentionally, nor did any of my men that I know of, have ever intentionally done anything. I truly believe that I serve with some of the best men and women anywhere in this country. And the fact that that guy come in and acted like he did to these guys just really goes through me.
Yeah. And we thank you for your service. We do.
And thank
We
you, guys.
appreciate it more than you know.
Thank
Yeah,
you very much.
for sure.
One more.
Stephen Alley for $10 says, sorry I'm late, beautiful. Any chance we can get a training montage with Chad watching Power Rangers like a football player watching game footage? Think Rocky, but with some comedic value. Go Chad.
Oh my gosh. I gotta tell you this. I gotta say this.
Yeah.
I have actually had people tell me that they challenged me to wear a Power Rangers suit out to the fight. And I'm not gonna lie. My wife says that I'm her biggest kid. You know, and she literally like has to like stay on me because like I'm basically a great big child.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking, I'm so tempted to wear a black Power Ranger suit
Oh
out to this.
man. I was gonna say, could it be the pink one?
No, I want to be the black one because that's the one that evidently Chili had the job being.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
Really?
was supposedly the Black Power Ranger for a while and was dismissed from the job somehow. I don't know the
Wait a
details.
minute.
And
On the TV show?
yes, that's
Wait,
the way I
what?
understand it. And then maybe somebody in the chat can correct me, but that I think that was the idea.
What?
But yeah. I don't know the details of it, so I won't comment any further. But I know that he was at least originally maybe cast for that position or something. I don't know. But as far as that goes, I swear this is the second time today something like that's been brought up, and I may consider working on doing a little training montage and actually putting something together for a video. The only problem is um, I'm kind of a one man operation when it comes to that. My wife just kind of like motivates me and yells at me and tells me to get off my butt and go train. But it's hard to film myself. I can't hardly train because I have to do it myself. I don't really have a cameraman, so it kind of makes it tough. But I'm working on it, and I'm going to put together some stuff. I can't show a whole lot of my training as far as my technique right now because
Right.
I don't have the luxury to be able to scout out anything about Chili because he has no training
Right.
videos. I certainly don't want to show my hand either. Um, but I may put together something soon enough to show a little bit of what we do over at Tataris, and a little bit of the jiu-jitsu side, maybe a little bit of glove work or sparring or something.
He has 3 acting credits to his name, but none of them are Power Rangers, so I don't know.
Well, apparently he's the red one.
The red one,
Yeah. That's what they're
Maybe
saying.
it's under a
They're
different
saying it
name
in the
or
chat.
yeah.
I think it was actually under
But
under
Johnny
Jose.
O knows. Johnny O says he can answer this. Wait a second. I'm trying to find out if he wants to he wants to come up. All right. Can you send Johnny O the link on? Because if I switch off of this, he will see the other stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But maybe we can find out. Because our friend Johnny O from the plot hole knows all this stuff.
Okay.
He's in the real entertainment business. um, yeah, we have some of the most talented people in this community. Like amazing, amazing.
I'm honestly by the numbers that you guys were talking about, the super chats and people donating to this cause, that awesome. I mean, just the fact that people took the time on their own to say, let's do this, let's get behind this, and make something good happen. Because ultimately, this really isn't about me. This isn't about Chili. This is about the opportunity to help something wonderful, and also to help a community. When we put together this fight, this community has rallied together so much over this fool. I mean, honestly, it's like he really did change Ironton. He kind of said he wanted to change Ironton when he came. He did. He changed him, but it wasn't the way he wanted it to be.
Good. Like he's. I'm gonna stop there because I could get very negative, and I'm trying not to be. Hi, Johnny. Johnny meet Chad. Chad meet Johnny.
Hello,
That's-
hello.
Hey, Johnny.
As I'm supremely confident that you'll be able to push him over and fart in his general direction and knock him the fuck out. That's all I can say about that.
Oh God. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, this information is coming from DeCastro himself, and there's some other confirmed pieces of this story. So he was cast in, I think it was Power Rangers. I think it was Thunder Force.
Okay.
He was originally supposed to play. From what I understand, he was originally supposed to play the Red Ranger, but then he was recast as a Black Ranger.
Oh.
But he witnessed. This part is according to Chili. So he witnessed what he thought was sexual harassment against the woman playing one of the other Power Rangers, and it was done by one of the higher ups, one of the executive producers. So he got all irritated with that and tried to probably did his Chili DeCastro shit with his camera and his whatnot, and started a fight with the executive producer. Not like fist fight, but hey, you shouldn't be doing this, blah blah blah. I kind of doubt the whole. I doubt his recount of the story, but this is what he says because no one has verified this. Nobody, the actress, the jacked up thing is he got himself and the original actress fired because of this. She denies it. She's like, no, that never happened. I don't know. Chili started some whatever. I don't know what happened. All I know is one day I got dismissed from the show along with Chili.
Does she know who he is, though? At least.
I'm sure she does.
Like, I mean, can we verify that he was really there?
Yeah, no, he really was
Okay.
cast on the show. Yeah, that part is yeah. Yeah.
He's got a little bit of experience. I know that like there was a couple like that remember that show 1,000 Ways to Die?
That was
Yeah.
the best. That was the best because his
I think he
whole-
actually was in one of those episodes.
he was
Yeah.
in one where he was trying to bench press an I-beam, like a steel I-beam. He got crushed to death.
Awesome! I gotta watch that.
No, because you'll be supremely disappointed because his performance is terrible.
Of course it is.
Oh,
He's
I can't
terrible.
imagine.
Yeah, like jam level.
But he's definitely. I mean, I could tell that he's at least a wannabe actor because he's definitely metrosexual.
Oh, he's certainly. I mean, the guy literally films other people in selfie mode. Let's just wrap our mind around that.
Yes.
Okay, I mean seriously, let's think of how much more effort do you have to put if you're truly engaged in this conversation and you're still worried about what you look like on your own iPhone? Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
He's an interesting case. That's for sure.
Dang.
But yeah, he was dismissed before they even filmed. I don't even think they were. I think they were barely in table read before he was dismissed.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah.
How long ago was this?
Oh geez, this was. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Thunder Force, and if that's the case, that's at least 15 years ago.
I was gonna say it had to be quite a long time ago.
So if he was
Thunderstorm, I think that was the one. Let me check.
I mean, if he's a Power Ranger, he's got to be a true athlete, right?
Okay, so real deal. He is a legitimate wrestler. He won state, I think, in was it?
He was states.
He won state in I want to say the high school he went to in Alaska. So he is a legitimate wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does have some cauliflower in his ear. That I actually, and I've openly said that on other streams before. I have no doubt that the guy actually has some wrestling because of the damage to his ear. But I can tell you that I've choked out a lot of guys with damage to their ears, so I'm not really worried about that.
You've been face to face with him, yes?
Oh yeah, he's a little guy.
That's what I was
Small
gonna
guy.
ask him. How short is he?
Okay, well, to give you an idea, I don't know what you guys know about me, but I'm 6'2", and I'll come into this fight at about 240.
Okay.
And he's about 5'7".
God, he's shorter than me.
Yeah, he's a very small man. Now he is put together. The guy's strong. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. He's put together. He's definitely been in the gym. I don't deny that whatsoever, and I'm not going to pretend to. But in my opinion, high school wrestling, and I've said this, and I told Kick this on his channel. And you know what? If he's a good wrestler, I have made the pledge that I promise, and I give him my word, and I give you my word right now. If he's a good wrestler, I promise at the end of this fight, I will wake his ass back up and tell him how good his wrestling was.
Yeah, because
I doubt he's going to even show.
Miles away from professional.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, like I said, I think he was a freestyle wrestler, which freestyle is a lot of upper body type. It's kind of like judo without the gi. And that's fine, and that's perfectly fine. And I've actually been training a lot of freestyle wrestling, takedown defense. You know, some of the upper body defense, just because I'm taking what he said for the truth. So we're putting together. Our fight camp has been very, very wrestling oriented to basically wrestling defense. So, and there's a big difference too, in being a successful wrestler, and wrestling's a wonderful sport. And wrestling, does wonders for a base for MMA. But if you don't have boxing, kickboxing, and or jiu-jitsu, wrestling is going to get your face pounded in.
Yeah.
Well, take a look at the octagon and look at the best fighters. How many of them are wrestlers versus like Muay Thai or kickboxer or?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't know anything. Like the last time I watched any kind of fighting, it was Boom Boom Mancini. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, just shut up.
Did they have color television back
Shut
then?
up! I will kick you. I will kick you now.
You can't kick that high.
Yeah, I think his wrestling is probably legit, but I don't think his striking is going to be anywhere close to mine. You know,
Oh,
with
there
my
was some footage. There's some footage of him hitting the bag, and you want to talk about amateur hour?
Where's the footage?
Yeah,
I can't. I wish I could find it, but this. Oh man, yeah. You have nothing
Do
to
you know
worry.
where you saw it? Was it on his channel?
I can't remember if I saw it on his channel or if it was sent to me by somebody else. I can't remember. This is a little while ago. But
Look for it.
him
yeah,
hitting the bag. Oh yeah, if he hit you the way he hits the bag, you might die from laughter.
Oh no.
you know,
But
I'll tell you, based on reach alone, if he
Mhm.
comes into this fight and he wants to box with me, he's going to have a really short day.
Short.
And that's because he can't match me for reach, and he's not going to come anywhere close to matching me for punching power. There's no doubt in
Nah.
my mind. So I actually I'm a pretty decent puncher. I mean, I'm actually I kind of got in the fight terms. I've kind of got what's referred to as heavy hands, so I actually hit pretty hard. So I think with 4 or 5 ounce gloves, if he tries to slip in under something, a jab or check a kick, and he hits my overhand right, I think they'll have to wake him up to tell him what the rest of the results were.
Damn.
That's just my opinion. But that's what we're planning on. I don't think he can take my overhand right, and I'm gonna go ahead and call it right now. I'm telling you right now, Chili, if you're watching this, I'm going to bring an overhand right based on an angle. When you try to pull anything whatsoever, if you try to sidestep a jab, I'm going to hit you with an overhand right, and I'm going to knock you the hell out. Period. That's it. That's the end of it.
I was about to ask if you had anything to say to Chili before we leave.
Yeah, honestly, just I really, I say a lot of stuff, smack talking, and obviously I'm prepping the fight, and that's all in fun for it. I don't hate this man. I'm not a hateful person. I would like to see him step up, put his money where his mouth is. This is an opportunity. He says he's civic minded. He says that he's all about doing the right things for the right reasons. So here's your opportunity. This is a wonderful charity, a wonderful community that's counting on us doing something positive. Join me in September to do something wonderful, to at least put that check mark. And you know what? I will openly say this: if he beats me, I will shake his hand at the end, and I can genuinely appreciate his effort. And at least we can look at each other and say we have mutual respect for we've done something good together. That's as simple as it gets.
And what I would like to follow it up with, Chili, is don't be a bitch. Prove that you're not the scam artist that you are, and show up.
Show up for that signing in July, you said?
July 9th.
July 9th, Chili. Don't punk out.
Yep.
You will never live it down.
Oh, that's the reason why I'm doing all these streams, because I am not gonna. I heard through the Vine the other day that he made a statement that I was trying to basically dodge the fight by saying that I want him arrested so I wouldn't have to fight him. Well, I'm here to dismiss that right now. That is absolute nonsense. I have openly said this has nothing to do with my job. No. I hope he's not arrested because I want him to do something good. I want him to actually step up. He says he's a tough guy. He says he trained all these MMA gyms, and like some of the MMA gyms he's thrown out there, like Lion's Den, I don't know how familiar you guys are with that, but that's the Ken Shamrock gym out in California. I think they got a few locations, and I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, it's easily verifiable. You can call them up. They're going to keep records of the people who fight.
Ken Shamrock was a badass.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name drop, but let's just say that I have spoke with somebody from that gym, a very high end fighter, and I have personally spoke with him, and he said Chili's a damn liar.
Yeah. Well.
Ooh, ouch, Chili. You can't lie and think you can get away with it, guys. We have too many eyes.
Oh, yeah. Guys, that's exactly what the reason for the statement was for the shirt. When I said the octagon is a great big lie detector, because you can't hide it. You can't lie with that. If you really are a skilled fighter, it'll show. But if you're not, I can promise you, if you're not a skilled fighter, I'm going to mangle you, because I'm not a super fighter or whatsoever, and I'm not saying that I am, but I've been around a little bit. I've been taught. I know the game a little bit. And if you think you're going to come in to fight me based on your mouth and you having a black belt in mouth kwando, I can promise you right now, I'm going to break your freaking face. It's going to be short and it's going to be brutal. So you better start hoping that if you're not a fighter, you better start making excuses not to show up. you better honestly start coming up and say, you know what, I've been thinking about this, and I'm not going to lie about this. I'm not a fighter. Man up one way or the other,
Yeah.
because September is going to be rough if you don't.
Oh, he's not going to man up. He'll
Punk out
be,
somehow.
yeah. There'll be some sort of injury or
Yeah, that's what
some other scam that he's going to have to run.
I hope and pray he does not punk out, but I just don't have that faith in him.
I think
You
he'll
know
get
what?
a finger sprain.
If this happens, this will probably be one of the biggest events on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see it being big.
It'll be, because you got to think, almost every channel is going to be streaming this, like all the channels that are in this community.
Yeah.
And it's going to be huge because he's got 40,000 subscribers, and there's some of the bigger ones in this community that's got thousands and thousands. I mean, you're liable to have 1 million views on something like this, because there's going to be everybody on both sides. Everybody hates cops, everybody loves cops, everybody don't really care anywhere in the middle, but they just want to see people beat each other up. So, hey, let's do it, man. If this brings up money for St. Jude's, can you imagine how awesome that would be? I mean, for us to be able to just say, 9 minutes of my life, 3 3-minute rounds, 3 3-minute rounds, 9 minutes.
Be honest, it's not going to be 9 minutes. It's going to be like
30 seconds.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
It's going to be 10 seconds of walk up, 5 seconds of trash talk, and then 5 seconds of you figuring out what to do with the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to be optimistic on his end. And I'm giving benefit of the doubt. If he is a good wrestler, he's probably smart enough to know to play angles and stay away from anything that I could hit him hard with. But that's going to wear out real fast, especially if he is orthodox. He tries to fight left foot forward, which is what I'm counting on, because I think I watched videos and we scouted him a little bit. And I actually went back and watched that he writes with his right hand. So I'm planning on him being an orthodox fighter. And if he doesn't understand, if he tries to double leg me, a double leg takedown, he's not going to be like the outcome of that. I'm just way too big and strong, and I'm used to that in jiu-jitsu. He's not going to be able to do well with that. If he tries an outside single or if he tries a low single, I've been training that like crazy. If he tries anything upper body type stuff, but that the freestyle guys like, he ain't gonna like that outcome. So his only outcome is going to be backpedaling and hoping he can keep angles to run down the clock. Other than that,
are there going to be judges?
Oh yeah, I mean it's completely sanctioned. It'll be just like UFC or Bellator or anything else. I mean, it's just obviously at a much smaller level.
Awesome. All right.
Cool.
Johnny, anything to plug? Oh, God.
Oh, we got one more super. Stephen Alley for $2 says AMG watched wrestling before it was a sport.
There are other jokes in there too, by the way.
Yeah. Anything to plug before we go? Johnny?
Me? No, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this title fight.
Awesome. And
I don't think it's going to happen, but
I'm hoping. No, let's all put out there that it's definitely gonna happen. He's not gonna punk out for once in his life or come up with an excuse. Don't punk out.
I've told my wife, and I've said this to other people, but I've told my wife, I'm telling myself that he is going to show up, because if he does or if he doesn't, it's still motivating me to train hard. I'm training like I'm literally fighting the biggest fight of my life ever, and I'm pushing with everything in me. So I'm telling myself day in, day out, he's going to be there. We're going to do this in September. And then if he don't, that's on him, because I'm still doing my part.
And he will never live it down. We will make sure of that.
I hope so. That's my goal.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here tonight. I had a great time getting to know you, and I hope you come back and tell us more about just being an officer in Ironton. It sounds like a great place.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me. And anytime in the future you guys want me or anything or have any questions, feel free to reach out, and that goes for everybody. And keep posted on the channel, and I will make sure everybody stays up to date with current events as they unfold and more details come in. And then remember, July 9th is the first big step. We get him there, then that's a pretty good indication that he might really intend on doing the right thing. So let's push hard. Not saying to harass Chili. I don't want you to do that, but I am asking everybody to at least keep it in his ear that we are watching and waiting to see if he really is going to keep his word.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Wait, can we make fun of him a little bit though?
Absolutely.
You said no harassing, which that I mean, you're asking a lot from me right there. But can I make fun of him?
I understand. I understand that it's hard not to.
It's just an easy target.
Very easy.
Very
Yeah.
true.
It
Very
was
true.
nice meeting you, man. Thanks for coming.
Hey, I appreciate you guys very much, and I promise anytime you need me, let me know.
Thanks
Right.
a lot. So, guys in the chat, thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time. Night.